Evening people, evening, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully the sound's coming through okay. We'll have to make sure that's, double check that when we get in the lobby. I've got the mic right next to my face, so I'm hoping that helps it out a little bit. I am looking into new microphone options because this one sounds a bit tinny anyway, but we're back for another week of Ring Calf. So it is just 5 lap races here at Nurburgring Nordschliefe. We're in GR3 cars tonight, as we are every week. It is absolutely pouring it down here in the lobby. Let's just merch still available, people. T-shirts and stickers. Hit me up, darksmoker@googlemail.com if you want any of those. And into the lobby. Look at it tipping down. Evening, people. How are we all doing? All good, I hope. Let me put the sound on now, so I'm not flapping about that later. But look at that. Look at the conditions here. Let's get ourselves on track quickly. Ugh. Well, that's going to mix things up, isn't it? Okay, let's just before we kick off with the qualifying, so 15-minute qualifier, which is pretty much 2 laps, and then we hit the 5 lap races, get to about 4 or 5 different races in of an evening. We'll be here till about 10 o'clock or thereabouts. So who have we got in the room then? We've got Bachi, we've got Vectra, Roadrunner, Bondo, Beastie Bubs, Subman, Ace Killer. We've got, who was that? Your Vater. Oh, he's back. Oh, God. The ball moved. Emmy Marcus, he's back as well. Bondo 69, Beastie Bubs, Subman, Tor Killer, Ace Killer, Old Fiction, Your Vater, Singularis, Donkey Shot, EKS Jules, Mikey 1, and little old me tucked on the bottom there. So 14 drivers if Mikey gets himself a car and onto the track. Lobbies are usually pretty full. There is one more space available, but I struggled to get in the lobby early, even though it said it was 15 out of 16 for some reason. Kept throwing up an error, and then it was throwing up lobby full, then it was throwing up an error. I don't know if there was people being kicked out, trying to wait for me to get in. I don't know. Ombra has joined the room. Okay, we've seen Ombra before, so room is absolute jam-packed. 15 drivers racing then, looks like, in race 1. Still waiting for qualifying to kick off though. Yeah, I'm hoping, obviously if I turn my head a little bit, I think this microphone's not that good. It doesn't pick up sound in varying directions, so, you know. Dukes, evening bro, how we doing? Yeah, I'm looking into different mic options at the minute. I don't even know whether the microphone's meant to be pointing that way at me or that way, if you know what I mean. It came with like a guard here, which tells me it should be in front. Alright, it didn't go on here, so well, let's just do that back up, all squeaky loose. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the mic a little bit closer to my face for this one, and we'll see how we get on in terms of sound quality. So qualifying just kicked off then. So big GR3, loads of power these cars, all the aero, plenty of grip as well. So no tyre. Let me just pull that information up, shall I? Bachi crossing the white line on the exit of the pits already, picking up the 3-second penalty. Won't matter so much on this lap because it is an out lap. Let's get ourselves some. You wanted more bumper cam, so there you go. Let's put the nonsense on as well. So a bit more bumper cam. Let me just pull up this information quickly. Where's that now? Not in that one, not in that one. There we go. There's the other chat. No. God, it's all going wrong. Stop it. Okay, so a bit of information about tonight. Most of the settings remain the same as they did last week. There'll be rain towards the middle of this race for 7 or 8. I don't know what that means in terms. I don't know what the scale is, but it definitely means there'll be 2 wet right races at least. That's not the chat I'm looking for actually. I am looking for a completely different app altogether. Bike stuff. Okay, let's just have a look, see if there's anything else. So best camera angles, they want chase cam, so on top, and more of that, and bumper cam, a little bit more bumper cam. So again, what's the sound like? What's the sound like, Dukes? You'll have to let me know in the chat. Yeah, because they were moaning about the sound, so that's why I brought the mic right next to my face. Hopefully that does it a little bit better. Anything else about the race? Pop on, required tyres, All racing tyres are available. Required tyres, you must do 1 lap minimum. Well, I don't know how you do less than 1 lap, unless you reset yourself and put yourself in the pits, but that's pretty much race over. And if it's wet races, all tyre rules go out the window. It's just whatever you want. That's pretty much the changes for tonight. Right, that's enough for you, Bachi. I'm changing the camera up as well. Let's have a look at some of these other drivers coming through. Old Fiction Bondo. Your Beta in the Mercedes this week. What the screaming Ombra Ferrari Roadrunner in a Porsche. Ace Killer in the standard BMW M6 for him. Mikey has gone Mercedes. His first race. Subman in the BMW as well. BMW for Singularis and Emmy Marcus. Donkey Shot, another BMW. Beastie Bub in the Porsche. Jules in Nissan Skyline GTR, also crossing the pit exit line there, picking up that 3-second penalty, and Vectra in another BMW M6. So not even halfway around this circuit yet in qualifying. See what champions rear window with that big roll cage there. So the other camera they want is kind of this one, so I can give it a bit of that. Switch the cameras up, watch the overtakes and things like that. It's not always the best camera, you know. I mean, I'll just keep it on the side here. You'll see you get a lot of that because the camera it won't float over the edge of the track. It when it hits the sort of trees, it pushes it in. When it hits the other side, it pushes it in. It can just look a little bit jinky, hence why I kind of stick to this view, because they're trackside cameras anyway. You just don't get any of that dodgy jinkiness, like I say, from the side. Oh, that was somebody going off track. Bondo getting that turn very, very wrong early in qualifying. That's damage to his car. Have you got damage on in quali? Vectra, have you got damage on in quali? That will be not very nice. So stay in at the minute. I'll come back and have a look quickly at him later, see whether his damage has repaired or whether he's got to do that qualifying session with that damage. It's obviously going to slow it down a bit. I love the sound of this Ferrari. Screaming little Ferrari. Love it. 458. It's killer. Giving Roadrunner a bit of grief in this outlap. way past road runner. Decal's coming through, Duco. You need to reduce the depth of it or something. Look, it's coming through on the rear. Just call you out on that a little bit. Where's it coming from? Is it off the roof? It's got to be off the roof. Is it? Where's that coming from? That's there. It's the bottom of the warp speed. Maybe it's meant to be coming all the way through. I don't know. So onto the hot laps now then. Matchy just crossing the line there, starting his hot lap. It is one and only hot lap, so if you get it wrong, it's that's it. No option for a second. Who was it with the damage? It was Bondo. Oh, he's still got it. So yeah, it doesn't repair itself in qualifying either. So damage set at heavy, which does mean a trip to the pits if you get it wrong. Oof, let's not do that. What's going on? Why can't I see the live stream? There it is. Boom, get that live chat on for you lot to get your comments in. So who do we think's going to win this one tonight then? Some very fast drivers in the Green Calf. Some newbies I've not seen either. So Roadrunner, did we see you for 1 or 2 races last week? Mikey I've not seen before, so I'll see how he gets on. Singularis we've seen. Subman, I believe we saw him for a race last week. Donkey Sharks. Jules we've not seen either, so we'll see how he gets on tonight in that Nissan GTR. All the cars sounded pretty good, these GR3s. He's sticking the indicator for us as well. Looks like he might have broken his side repeater by how fast that's ticking. Marcus getting a little bit wrong through there. Actually then, still first man out on track, not put a foot wrong yet really. Subman's left the room, shame. Does leave an open spot for anyone listening if they fancy getting in. I mean, I'm sure there's probably drivers clicking the button right about now. Then not putting a foot wrong really. Old Fiction just following him around at the minute. There you go, Joe Benson straight in. Now Jose Monsieur Benson, very fast driver, very fast driver. Seems to just make his BMW hook up where other drivers can't, and yeah, just gets maximum performance out of every part of the car really, although maybe he shouldn't have tried to get 2 laps out of softs the other week. That maybe wasn't such a good idea from him. It wasn't too bad, but he just lost everything, kept spinning around. Everybody else managed to come in the pits, get fresh tyres on and overtake him. Bondo still rolling with that damage, unfortunately. Your Vater now with a ½ a second penalty on his actual fast lap. That's going to be a dent in his time. Under clean at the minute, no damage, no penalties. There's Killer as well, looking good at the minute. Roadrunner in at 7th, no penalty on board from him. I've got a penalty on board Mikey. A little bit loose in that Mercedes. We'll see how he gets on in that one. Singularis clean at the minute. Donkey Shot clean as well. So a couple of drivers picking up that penalty again. Would have been fine last lap, but this lap not what you want, especially that one. That's coming out of the... Oh, he's picked up damage, been into the wall as well. Then Emmy Marcus and a 3-second penalty. So unless he's an absolute machine, probably going to start at the back of the pack, unless EKS Jules, who's got all the damage he can have on that car. It's probably straightened the whole thing up actually, having damage on all 4 wheels. Yeah, he's been into the wall a couple of times, EK Jules, unfortunately. We have 3/4 quarter point of the hot laps. Actually, just through this little tricky last sector before hitting that long straight. Just got to keep it clean through here. Tricky section as well. A bit wide for Old Fiction. Flames being spit out the side of the BMW, spat out the side. Though, with that damage, still pushing hard though. Vater penalty. Oh, Ombra gets a little bit twitchy through there. Kicking up dirt as well, your Vater. So, qualifying almost done here. We'll see how everybody gets on. A few drivers going to lose penalties up this back straight, so that's going to totally change the order of things on the grid. Oh, there's somebody off in front of Ace Killer. Heard that, it's Ombra. Just heard some tyres screeching, and then they weren't screeching, and then there was a clonk. That clonk was Ombra hitting Armco, unfortunately. So let's just jump to your Vater. Got this penalty to lose. Two yellow markers coming up. Boink, there we go. So the brakes get applied for him. Does lose a fair chunk of speed. Ace Killer probably going to be able to get past him. Oh, the rain comes in just as they hit the nutting up. Shake things right up at the end here as well. Actually, just round that last corner then. Keeps it straight, finishes the lap just in time as the rain comes down. So currently sits on pole while we wait for everybody else to come through. Old Fiction stays second as well, still waiting for all the rest of these drivers to come through. Bondo with that damage. What's he going to put in? Stays third. Your Vater, I think Ace Killer's already gone through. Your Ace Killer goes through to take second. Good drive with him. Your Vater, even with that penalty, takes fourth. Bondo fifth. Ombra. No, Ombra, no. Last couple of corners, the Ferrari's letting him go. Oh, Singularis as well around the very last corner. Oh no, Ombra's backwards again. The rain. Oh, it's just, yeah, sod it. Reverse. Ombra. Whoa. Have it. Brilliant, love it. By any means necessary, Ombra. That's what I'm talking about. I can imagine everyone's in the pits putting a set of intermediate tyres on right about now. So Bachi taking that top spot then. Ace Killer second, Old Fiction third. I don't know whether everyone's even finished yet. They've not. Your Vater fourth, Bondo fifth, Donkey Shot sixth, Beastie Bub in seventh. Tiptoeing around these turns. Yeah, not even pressing the throttle. Look, Roadrunner in 8th, Ombra in 9th, Singularis 10th, Mikey in 11th, Vectra very slow. Can't even get the power down. He's been into the wall a couple of times as well. So he's going to take 12th, and we still wait for Emmy Marcus. No, that is everybody. Oh no, there is a driver. Who's? Oh, that's Emmy Marcus parked halfway around the circuit. 3-second penalty. He's already sitting in 13th. That looks like he's put the stereo on as well. Some hardcore German techno coming from his car. Probably even faster than that. Probably got a doink on it as well. Yeah, that's the oh, look at that, look at that. gets the thing straight, tries to put the throttle down, and throttle up, just tootling round there. What? It never puts you straight. It never puts you pointing the right way, this game. There we go. We'll be done then. So there are official results. Bachi just getting across the line just in time before that rain came in. The two drivers behind him both on 6:33s, and then there's a great big gap back to fourth. Your Vater with a 10-second deficit to third place, so 6:43. Bondo in fifth, Donkey Shot 6th, Beastie Bubs 7th, Roadrunner in 8th, Ombra 9th, Singularis 10th, Vectra in 11th, Mikey in 12th, Emmy Marcus in 13th, EKS Jules, I don't think we saw finished, no we didn't, and Subman 400 left the lobby. Okay, start at 24 minutes past. Look, it's all dried up. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Pressing the wrong thing. I won't let me go to track. Okay, evening folks. How are we doing? Got me to listen to for 4 minutes of waffle. I don't know what I'm going to waffle about. Good first round of the GTTCC last night. Fusion Lobby, go check it out. It was last night's stream. Hi Ombra. If you didn't greet us all, you have now. Ombra says hello. Yeah, tricky qualifying that one. Tricky qualifying with that rain coming down right at the end. Again, Bachi, maybe halfway up the Dottinger when the rain came down, maybe got away with it, as did Ace Killer and Old Fiction, and then yeah, everybody else getting tangled up with that rain a little bit, especially in those last couple of corners. Poor Ombra found him backwards a few times. Vectra, I think, was backwards a couple of times as well. Who else did we see? Singularis last corner, binned it. Yeah, tricky in the wet, especially on the racing softs. Fine in the dry, absolutely stomp them in the dry, but yeah, when the rain comes down, especially if the rain comes down like that, it's, yeah, you may as well just not have tyres. Oh, that was 2 minutes of waffle. Duco, if you're still in the chat, how does the mic sound now? Does it sound better with me up close and personal? Can you hear every breath and swallow and, you know? No Martel Potter in the lobby tonight. Usually, Beastie Bub saying he lost an easy 20 seconds on that last corner due to the rain. Sounds good, good. What's he saying? Weather forecast looks dry for the start, but with rain coming in from the 10 minutes and then clears up again towards the end of the race. Well, by that time, you'll all have dents, you'll all have damage, you'll probably all have come in the pits for a set of intermediate tyres, and then just as you get out on that lap, the rain will stop halfway round on a set of inters. That's what I'm predicting. That's what I'm predicting. Don't let me waffle too much, look, I might miss the start of the race. 1 minute. Yeah, that rain catching a few of them out at the end of that one. I'm just saying, yeah, him too. Right, here we go then. Race 1 of the evening, about to kick off. 5 laps here at Nurburgring Nordschliefe. Bop is on, so all the cars are kind of generally the same brake horsepower. They have to do, I know. They have to do at least 1 lap, or a minimum of 1 lap. Can't do any less than 1 lap on a set of tyres. Right, let's get ourselves in. Lights on then. Bachi is going to lead us out. Not a bad start. Drivers around that corner are going to suffer a little bit. We'll jump on with the Bachi. We'll go rear view camera. We'll try and watch these drivers close up. Ace Killer in that second position. Already a second down from Bachi. Great start from him then in the Mercedes. Ace Killer already out of slipstream range of Bachi. Yeah, as Duco in the chat's just said, the rain is going to come down about 10 minutes in, so that's just over the first lap, halfway through the second lap. That's going to start coming in. Bachi still pulling away here, 1.2 seconds. There he goes, Ace Killer second, then Old Fiction in third, Your Vator fourth, Bondo in fifth, Donkey Shot sixth, 7-4 Beastie Bug in the Porsche, another Porsche in eighth on Roadrunner. Ombra and that screaming Ferrari in ninth, just managing to get around that corner. That's why the gap between Ombra in ninth and Singularis in 10th is so big, because everybody in front of Ombra, and including himself, pretty much started on the start straight, whereas these four behind, shortcut there, started, oh no, it's Chaos, Vectra and Singularis take themselves out at the bottom of the hairpin before Foxholes. Singularis trying to get himself back up to speed as well, dents all over that BMW, it's a trip to the pits for him. Yeah, they start behind the last turn, so they have to slow down for that last turn coming in, and unfortunately slows them down enough to allow these boys to get away. Mondo then closing up on Your Vator. Your Vator trying to drag Old Fiction back into his grips. Oh no, Your Vator goes a little bit wide. Oh, he gets the tail happy. Oh, just hangs on to it. Mondo tried to get up the inside, but Your Vator had a little flick across the track. Could have been a little bit dangerous for the pair of them. Just gives Old Fiction that tiny bit of breathing room. Nobody behind to have a go at these two while that happened. Your Vator then really using that position to Bondo. Closes up a little bit through there as well. Donkey Shot, Beastie Bug, Roadrunner, Ombra, all pretty close as well. Gets a little bit sideways coming out of that turn. Oh, runs on the grass a little bit through there as well. That's going to slow him down. You can see that gap opening up. Beastie knows he's running slow down there. Pulls off the racing line. Allows Bondo to, Roadrunner to come through. Yeah, just losing the tail through there. Running on the grass a little bit for Bondo. Slowed him down a little bit. Ombra not able to take advantage of that, so he stays ninth at the minute. Big gap then back to Mikey, number one. 3.9 seconds, 4 seconds back to him. Another gap developed between Emmy Marcus, Vectra and Singularis after the incident into the hairpin before Foxholes. No damage on for Vectra, luckily. Singularis, unfortunately, has got a little bit of a dent on that front right, so front left, apologies. Gonna have to carry that until the pits. Okay, Ace Killer made a mistake. Bachi pulls away. Old Fiction all over the back of Ace Killer. It's a little bit twitchy out of there himself. On the hunt then. 0.4 of a second behind Ace Killer. Little mistake from him, cost him that opportunity behind Bachi at the minute. So just over the halfway point of lap one here in race one. Another night of ring calf entertainment for you guys. Weather's on as well this week, so she's really going to mix things up. Halfway through lap two, apparently. Ish. carrying a lot of speed through here. Old Fiction not able to close that gap up, loses a little bit of time to Ace Killer through that little complex of corners. Oh, Ace Killer goes wide through there though. Still carries a fair amount of speed through there, considering. Old Fiction not been able to catch up with him though. Mondo safe at the minute in fourth, got a little bit of a gap back to Donkey Shot, 1.6 seconds. Big train of cars looking to get involved in a fight here. I've got Your Beta, we've got Mondo, Donkey Shot, Your Beta, Roadrunner and Ombra reasonably close on track. Beastie Bug after that tiny little mistake. Just a few positions down in ninth at the minute. Let's have a look from his point of view. See his knuckles coming around that corner. He's turning the steering so sharply. Oh, a little bit of a twitch from the Ferrari in front. Not enough to take him out though. Right, now we're going to see some moves up here. Everybody pretty close as they hit this long back straight. Oh no, unfortunately Beastie Bug runs wide. Still just within tow range, but he is going to be slow. It's happening in front though. Roadrunner having a go at Your Beta, gets past him. Your Beta tucks himself straight into the slipstream. Ombra goes for the move. See you later in the Ferrari. Tucks himself back into the slipstream of Roadrunner. Can he close the gap up? He is getting pretty close pretty quickly up towards the bridge. He's going to swing out to the right. Side by side for these pair, then down the hill. Who's got the metal coming into the animal garden? It is Ombra over Roadrunner. Over Your Beta. Oh, he's in the pits already. Get rid of those soft tyres straight away then. Can't do 2 laps on those. So, is everybody else out on the mediums? Beastie Bug is. Oh, the Mercedes in front gets a little bit tail happy. Your Beta hangs on to it though. Holding his own at the minute. Harassed by Mercedes and Beastie Bug in his Porsche. See how bumpy this track is. Kicked all over the place here. Beastie Bug a little bit closer to Your Beta. No opportunity to go for a move up the hill here. Might get a run on the way out of it though. Backs off the throttle, keeps himself tucked right in behind Your Beta, gets a good line on the exit as well. Now, are we going to see any of these boys make a move into the hairpin? Here we go. Oh no, again, Beastie Bug, nowhere to go. Your Beta just sticks that Mercedes right in the middle of the track. Nowhere for Beastie Bug to go then. Down into foxholes. Tricky part of the circuit, left, right, all the way down here. Sparks being kicked up at the bottom of this hill with the G-force as they plummet down the hill. Compression at the bottom, just sticking the car straight to the floor. Let's see what's happening up front. So Bachi, a little bit sideways on those mediums. Nice Killer. Out the mediums as well, doing alright, 2.2 seconds behind Bachi. Got himself out of the clutches of Old Fiction. Mondo has opted for 2 laps on the softs. That might not work out well for him. So Donkey Shot on the mediums. Roadrunner in the Porsche on the mediums, making those tyres last. Your Beta mediums, but a little bit of front end damage. Beastie Bug still looking for a way past Your Beta. Oof, gets a wing. Ooh, almost got a wing up the inside through there. That's not where you want to be going for a move really. Straight to that tight hairpin, straight back out again. Oh, a little bit tail happy on the exit as well for Beastie. Electro up into 9th. Emmy Marcus in 10th. Steve Delara's still holding the damage in 11th. Ombra out, a fresh set of racing mediums on board for him then, and Mikey stuck on a set of soft tyres himself. Okay. Getting a bit dark overhead. Are we about to see some rain coming in? We are about to hit that 10-minute mark. I don't know how it's timed, but you know, nature, that's how nature gives me times. But Ace Killer has closed that gap down on Bachi a little bit. About 2.5 seconds. He's got it down to 1.8. Absolutely stomping it round that corner. Slamming it down the gears to get the BMW slowed down. Gap stays, so 1.7. Into the carousel we go. Makes a little bit of time up there. About 0.2 of a second for Ace Killer on Bachi. Not enough to get the slipstream at the minute though. We'll come back to that fight in a second, see what else is going on. Old Fiction out on his own then, 3.5 seconds behind Ace Killer. 8.5 seconds ahead of Bondo. Bondo's tyres absolutely red as dead, those things. So he's struggling right about now. We better hope that rain doesn't come in as well. He's being closed up by Roadrunner. He's pulled a massive gap between himself and Your Vator. Your Vator's pulled himself away from Beastie Bub as well. Okay, Vectra on for a go at donkey shot here. Again, just feathering the throttle around these turns. Don't want to stamp the throttle, you just got to keep it nice and calm. Donkey shot dips a wheel on the grass. Again, goes a little bit wide. We saw Ace Killer do that earlier. No opportunity to go for a move up the inside through there though. Again, another kick from Donkey. I'm not sure if that's glitching or driving. Maybe a little bit of lag there. Dip into this right hand hairpin back up the hill. Press in now then. Oh, Mikey's left the room. Again, Vectra looking for a way past Donkey Shot. Tried there, thought about having a look up the inside. That right hander coming up far too quickly for him though. What is he, 0.5 of a second behind. We're going to see other drivers dropping in the pits. I don't think the medium tyre drivers are going to stick with... Oh, are we seeing rain? I don't think they're going to stick with medium tyres for another lap here. Are we seeing rain? Yes we are. I knew it on the dotting up. Okay, here we go. How fast is Vectra on Donkey Shot there? All that speed. The rain is really going to catch people out here then. Let's get ourselves to the front. Bachi throws himself in the pits. Ace Killer throws himself in the pits. Old Fiction creeping around that corner, getting himself in the pits as well. Roadrunner braking very, very early and wisely too. Again, tiptoeing around into the pits. Everybody now with the rain. Oh, Bondo stays in 5th. With absolutely blown out fronts, absolutely blown out rears, and the rain came down. Beastie Bub in, Your Vator in, Vectra in, Donkey Shot in, Singularis. Everybody braking ridiculously early. And was on a fresh set of mediums as well. I'm sure he's regretting coming in at the end of lap 1. Get that thing turned. Look, it won't even turn a corner. It won't even turn a corner. Emmy Marcus as well a long way back. A lot of damage on his car, so he's been in the rain for an awful lot longer than everybody else. Yellow flag's being waved while Ombre gets his car back on track. And look at this on the exit of the pits. Whoa! Bachi nearly loses it. So he's gone full wet tyres. Ace Killer is on full wets as well. Got the gap down to 0.5 of a second between these two. massive gap over old fiction. Also on the full wets, 16 seconds, oh sorry, 9 seconds behind Ace Killer. Roadrunner another 16 seconds behind, that's the time I was actually looking at. And still, even with the full wets on, everybody just got to be a little bit careful. They might have all the grooves cut out, but they'll still spit you off into a wall if you go a little bit too quick, for sure. Everybody opted to come in then, everybody fueled up, everybody taken on board tyres. A couple of drivers gone for the intermediate option, that's interesting. Looking at the state of the weather though, I would probably say wets is the way to go. Ombra came in at the end of lap 1, he's been back in at the end of lap 2. Can't get that Ferrari locked up, hooked up around here. Seems to want to spit him out sideways. Henry Marcus has been in the pits, had all his damage repaired, stick some fresh tyres on, and come out the pits and damaged his car again, unfortunately. Okay, good battle. Well, I'll take good battle. I can see some spray coming through. Tricky when they get it close together then, these two. Bacci and Ace Killer get their cars sideways. Again, a little bit of sideways action from Ace Killer there. Something smashed, but I don't think Ace Killer is close enough to the wall. Oh, is it it's the splashes off the puddles, isn't it, hitting the car? That's what that is. Oh no, Bacci gets that corner wrong. The rear lights up, it spins him round. Ace Killer comes through to take the lead. Again, he's just got to be tentative around all these corners. You've seen how let it go. I was just about to say that. You've seen how easily the BMW likes to get the tail out. So he has now got 4.7 seconds over Bacci. Bacci's holding front end damage now as well, so that's obviously going to mean he's running a little bit slower. Old Fiction holding that third position on the wets. Makes up 4 seconds on Bacci in that chase. Roadrunner into fourth, then Bondo fifth. Your Vator in sixth, Beastie Bug seventh. These boys still pretty close together. Ooh. Roadrunner gets a little bit loose through there, sticks it in the wall. Gets it back on track though. Oh, everybody waiting to run that straight before sticking the throttle down. Again, even just lifting around corners like that, you don't have to lift at all in the drive through there. You can keep it absolutely planted. Oh no, Roadrunner's off track again in the Porsche. Your Vator goes through then. Beastie Bug carrying a bit more speed than him, but he's going to be brave to drive around the outside coming into this next turn. Especially in these conditions. Oh. See, they're just, even with the full wets on, the water's just kicking these cars from left to right. Little tiny bits of steering going in. Gaps are starting to open up then. Oh no, Bondo's in the wall, he's got that turn wrong, stuck it in the wall. He's in seventh, but he's got drivers coming up behind him, Vectra and Donkey Shot pretty quickly. Bit of damage on the front end is going to make him run slow as well. On board with Vectra then, there is Bondo. Got the lights of Donkey Shot flashing all over the rear end of Vectra here as well. Towards the carousel, not the place to be going for an overtake. Bondo just staying out of the way though. How's Vectra through? There is Donkey Shot coming for a way past as well. Didn't make it before Bondo got himself back on track. It's absolutely thrashing it down here. Don't even know where to look on track because I could have missed action all over the place. Still seeing Ace Killer leading, but he's had a little bit of a wobble himself. That 4-second lead he had over Bachi has dropped to a second. Fiction still comfortably in third position. Nobody harassing him at the minute, in front or behind. Later into fourth then. Roadrunner in fifth. Beastie Buff sixth. Vectra into seventh. Donkey Shot in eighth. Bondo ninth. Singularis in 10th, Emmy Marcus in 11th, and Ombra. I thought I was having a computer glitch then with that green flag flashing across the screen. No, Ombra struggling to get that Ferrari pointing in the right direction. Really doesn't like the rain, does it at all? Okay, Bachi's made another little mistake here. Oh, he's got front and rear damage. Oh, nearly killed him again then. That has just allowed Ace Killer to open that gap up again. 3.5 seconds to gap now. And I can imagine he's going to stay out on those wets for another lap unless it dries out. Still raining, not as much as it was. Might have stopped now, in fact. We won't know until a few more drivers come through. Oh no, is that Bachi off in the background? Or was it just headlights against the wall? Ace Killer does stay out on those wets then. Again, the track's going to stay wet regardless of whether it stops raining or not. It will dry out pretty quickly. Bachi comes in, he's getting rid of those wets. He's got rid of, is he? Is he going to get rid of those wets, or is he just going to repair his damage? Old Fiction comes in. Later, carrying good speed, carrying loads more speed up here in the wets than they could in the on the softs. Everybody coming in then, getting damage repaired, fueling up. Are they taking on board new tyres? Are they going to stick a set of dries on now it's stopped raining? Looks like everybody's opted. No intermediates then for Bachi. It just stays out while Vectra comes through. So Ace Killer stays out on those wet tyres. He has now got a 35-second lead, plenty of fuel on board. We'll do 2 more laps, to be honest, with that. Or maybe 1 more after this one, that's all he needs. So Vectra into second, still on that wet tyre. Got the intermediates on for Bachi behind, just been in the pits, got that damage repaired. Old Fiction come out, he's also put a set of ints on. The All Beta's gone, you know what? It is drying out. I'm going for racing softs. Now that could catch him out. You can see a dry line appearing already. It doesn't take much. There it is, look, you can see the difference between the light grey and the shiny grey on the outsides. But again, Your Beta's got to thread the needle at the minute. Any kind of deviation through here and it could spell disaster for him. Got to be real careful on those. And if it doesn't dry up though, he should be alright. Your Beta in 5th then. Roadrunner in 6th. Beastie Buff 7th. So a lot of drivers opting to come out on the racing mediums again. They will do 2 laps. They will see you through to the end of the race. Bondo back out the pits on another set of racing mediums. Singularis has crossed the pit line. He's picked up 3 seconds penalty. Emmy Marcus in the pits now, getting damage repaired, released on a set of racing mediums himself. Ombra stops in the pits with all that damage. Again, the Ferrari just not seeming to want to point itself in a straight line once the rain comes down. Still wet this end of the circuit. No real dry line appearing here yet. It's Killer just struggling. I think he's trying to drive these things like he was on the soft tyres. It's never going to work. He has still got a 32-second lead over Bachi. Oh no, Emmy Marcus has left the room. He's probably just left the pits, spun it into the wall, got fed up and ejected himself. So Ace Killer has got enough time, I think, to get in the pits, get some tyres, bit of fuel, and possibly back out before Bachi catches up with him, although that time is coming down. It is down to 30 seconds between himself and Bachi. So he's opted for the intermediate tyres, so still got a little bit of grip, but will run a bit quicker as it dries up. So Vectra drops to third position. He's found himself in the wall, a little bit of damage on the front. Old Fiction in fourth currently. So he's on a set of inters with a little bit of wear on. There's that dry line, you can see it appearing now. Roadrunner in the Porsche on the racing mediums, Beastie Bum on the racing mediums, your Vectra on those softs. Oh, Beastie Bum, there you go, that's exactly what happens when you put the racing tyres on when it's still a little bit wet. Just getting caught out there, Beastie, spun him on track, into the wall he goes, a little bit of damage. Mondo 9th, Singularis 10th, he's also crossed that pit line. Ombra sideways in the Ferrari. Again, once he hits the wet bits, it just doesn't like it. Okay, back to the front, Ace Killer. Still losing time to Bachi. Definitely getting drier here, not raining anymore. You can see the dry line appearing. So the wet tyres not quite as grippy now. Obviously they've got the knobbles on, so they'll deflect more, they'll bend more, whereas the flat tyres of a racing tyre, regardless of compound, will stay flat. Whereas if you've got any kind of gap between yourself and the tyre main body itself, that's going to have a little bit of flex side to side. That's what Ace Killer is experiencing at the minute, just losing that little bit of time on this dry part of the circuit. And they will heat up pretty quickly as well. Still losing time. Whether he's got enough to get in, get tyres and back out as well before Bachi is yet to be seen. But if he does come out with only a single lap to go, he will stick on a set of soft tyres, I can imagine. But he's got to get to that pit line yet. So and this man is closing up on him pretty quickly. Old Fiction on those inters as well. Vectra holding fourth. Staying out on those wets, probably going to do a similar strategy to Ace Killer. Definitely see the dry line there, look. Later back into fifth, that slightly faster racing tyre coming into its own then. Again, he's just got to stay off those wet patches, or they'll try and kill him. Donkey Shot's found himself with a half a second penalty. Beastie Bum pushing the Porsche, but we've seen that's cost him a little bit. Spun it off into the wall, picked up a little bit of front end damage. Roadrunner as well, been off on the mediums, spun it round, he's got a little bit of rear end damage. Bondo spun it round, he's got front end damage. Again, just hitting those little wet sections. And Ombra just wants to drive this Ferrari straight off a wall. Very, very tall one at the minute. There we go, Ace Killer in the pits now then. You'll have to take on board fuel, no damage to repair, so just tyres and fuel to do. Bachi coming up towards Animal Gardens then. Hard on the brakes, he'll stay out, he's got enough fuel on. Will he come in, he's on the inters? No, he's going to stay out on the inters. What is Ace Killer going to do? Just goes through then now. Ace Killer gets released. Oh, he's gone for inters in this final lap. Okay, but it's a fresh set of inters, so we can really press those. 6.4 seconds behind Bachi, and just in front of Old Fiction as well. 2.8 seconds ahead of him. Vectra in fourth, which one he's coming in the pit, slowing down massively, looking in right. So your Veta is going to go through. Those soft tyres lasting a full lap then, he's still got good life left in those. Serving well. Donkey Shot on the mediums in fifth. Beastie in sixth. Vectra seventh. Roadrunner in the pits as well. Getting the damage repaired. I'd have probably carried on, mate. I'd have probably carried on with that little damage in the mediums. Looking so good. Hondo found himself with that front end damage. We just caught him pinning it into the wall. Stays out. Singularis comes in. Oh, I say that, he's gone in the wall before coming in. Ombra is hating this race. 1 minute 59 down. He's got a 1.5 second penalty as well. He's actually 3 minutes behind Bachi, race leader. Look at the wear on those inters. Look, he's having to stick to the wet lines to try and keep those cool. That's not always possible. Ace Killer, although showing a little bit of wear, he can absolutely stomp these on the dry. Big Bachi's already done a lap in the dry on these. So that time slowly coming down, 5.1 seconds. Is it going to be enough before the end of this lap? This is the final lap now for race one. Can we see him yet? No, just drops it below the 4 seconds. Again, Bachi looking for those wet parts of the track to try and keep those tyres cool before the end. Doesn't want to blow them out and allow Duco to get past him due to that. Oh, there he is. That time is definitely coming down to 4.5 seconds. Not out of the woods yet though. Anything could happen here. Only takes a one slight wrong move from either of these drivers. Definitely getting closer though, 3.1 seconds. Ace Killer really piling the pressure on now. Again, he just decides to find a little bit of water, just keep those things a little bit cool. As best he can on the hunt for Bachi in front, but he is closing up. Gap now, 2.3 seconds then. Yeah, just peeling over it, getting that little bit of wet. Those tyres cool. You can see how much tyre are on Ace Killer's, how much wear are on Ace Killer's tyres, and he's only done half a lap on these. Oh, and there it is for Bachi. He's just lost it a little bit, carried a tiny bit too much speed through that turn. I think he dipped a wheel on the grass on the exit, tried to get the power down and just lit the rears up around that Mercedes when he's going to have all sorts of damage on now as well, and his tyres are worn out. Got plenty of time, I think, between himself and your Veta, although your Veta's on those soft tyres. Bachi could really struggle for this second half of the final lap here. So this man has been given a clear circuit then. Dry track now, plenty of life left in that tyre till the end of the race. For wrong, see again, just looking for those little bits of wet to keep those things cool. Doesn't really need to worry so much now. He's got nearly 10 seconds between himself and Old Fiction. His inter's absolutely blown out as well now, so they're going to be in no fighting condition to chase down Ace Killer. In fact, he misses the carousel to try and pick up a bit of liquid through there. Bachi says, my tyres are done anyway, I don't care, I'm going to stick them through every kind of gruesome corner I can now. So your Veta, look at that, 16 seconds the gap is down to. Those soft tyres really coming alive then in this final lap, which he's got to be really careful here then. He's really struggling at a lot of these turns. It's all falling into Ace Killer's hands, the gap extends even further, 13. Oh, as he gets a bit of a drift on through there. Don't bin it in the last few corners, Ace Killer. 15 seconds over Old Fiction. Again, he's driving himself off track with those worn out tyres, struggling to peel it back on. So So your Veta, what are you going to do here? Are you going to end up with another position, carrying all sorts of speed at the minute? Again, you've just got to stick to that dry line. Now just 10 seconds behind Old Fiction with that slight mistake from him. Oh, he goes wide through there himself though. That could be chances done and dusted. So pretty big gaps all over the place at the minute. Bondo's backwards again. What a shame. There you go, as easy as that. Look, try and get the power down and it lights itself up. And Ombra, again, that Ferrari. Don't drive that on Nurburgring in the wet, Ombra. That's not a good combination. So, Ace Killer in the Warp Systems liveried BMW is going to take a win in race 1 as long as he doesn't launch it into the wall and explode himself out the windscreen coming up the hill here. There's a flash of the lights. Showing off to the cameraman on the bridge again. See him? See him stood up there with the camera. Yeah. So almost out of fuel then. Tyres absolutely blown out for Ace Killer. We'll go back and have a look at Batchy's in a second. And Old Fiction's. Last corner to go then for Ace Killer. Doesn't really matter if he gets it backwards, he can reverse across the line like we saw Ombra do, and there he goes, taking the win in race 1 here tonight. Batchy, red, all over the place, tyres screaming out to be changed or just cool down, tip some water on them, they're hurting. And in the background, your Veta tucked under Old Fiction's rear wing coming up the hill. I knew he was close, but I didn't realise he was going to be that close. He's trying to drive around the outside on the softs. Come on, camera. And gets through. Great bit of driving from your Veta in that final lap. Oh, who's that? Beastie Bub in the background gets it all wrong. He's got to get that thing pointing in the right direction as we see Donkey Shot come around the corner, almost sideways as well. There is Beastie Bub. How did you carry so much speed around that turn, Beastie? Very interesting to know that. So it is Ace Killer that takes the win then. He picks up half a second penalty as he crosses the line. Beastie takes second. Good effort on those tyres, but it was never going to end up in your favour like that. Your Veta having a stomper of the last couple of laps on those softs. Opting to stick those on instead of the set of inters that everybody else kind of went for, or the mediums. Old Fiction again struggling, both fronts absolutely blown out. Rear's not looking very good either. Had to settle for 4th. Donkey Shot coming home in 5th. Beastie Bug pinning it past the final corner in 6th. Vectra is going to come home in 7th, or he has. Roadrunner will take 8th. So big gaps then. Still got drivers around the other end of the circuit. Singularis is going to come home in 9th. Bondo, poor Bondo. Seems to be every time we flick the camera onto him, he's spun it into the wall. Don't do it this time, you're on a straight. That would be insane. And I can't even see Ombra yet, he's still, I was just going to flick back to Ombra because I saw his car was pointing the wrong way on circuit. So I assumed he was backwards, and yes, we just catch him getting pointing the right way. So we'll just catch Bondo going across the line. We've lost a couple of drivers from this one. Has dipped out, and who was the other driver that left? Was it Mikey? Mikey disappeared. Bondo taking that 10th position. Ombra angry in the Ferrari, I can imagine. Music Monk. The wet conditions looked difficult. Well, I think Ombra could attest to that. Yeah, tricky. Didn't even get to finish his lap, look. Yeah, so we lost a couple of drivers from that one. It happens, but usually the lobbies are pretty full for Ringcaf. official results then. Ace Killer with that win. Bachi in second, 30 seconds behind actually by the time Ace Killer crossed the line. Your Vater in third, Old Fiction in fourth. I've got to say, Your Vater stomping 2 laps on that set of softs, my friend. Old Fiction fourth then, his tyres also blown out. Donkey Shot fifth, Beastie Bub sixth, Vectra in seventh, Roadrunner in eighth. Wrong thing, press the button. Singularis ninth, Bondo in 10th, Ombra 11th. Yes, it was Emmy Marcus that dipped out, and Mikey 106 that dipped out as well. So there is race 1 done and dusted. Ooh. So are you going to have another qualifying, or is it just going to be reverse grid? How are you setting this one up? Qualifying, unfortunately, wastes a good 15 minutes of racing. You know, we've had a qualifying at 8. I think we should have, regardless of new drivers starting, we should have reverse grid, and the new drivers start at the back of the grid because you're new drivers and you just turned up, so you don't get an advantage. That's what you get. But yeah, that rain really shakes things up, doesn't it? Just getting a little bit warm in here. Many electronics running. Many. Okay, absolutely full lobby again. Some new drivers in as well. Let's have a quick flick over to those. Who have we got? We have got Speedy XXL. We saw him last week. Garnier. You've got Yazza 14 Ozgun. You're just going to be Yazza. Vectra, Roadrunner, Bondo, Ace Colour. I nearly called you Daft Punk then, Data Punk, but no. You might be Daft Punk. When I look at your name quickly, we'll see. So, next race, the format's going to be the same. So after seeing what you've just seen, who do we think now is going to win? Does it matter where people qualify? If the weather's going to happen like that, does it matter? I think really, if you kind of know the setup, if you know it's going to be sort of halfway around lap 2, you would consider putting on a whatever tyre, an intermediate tyre maybe at the end of the first lap, maybe. But then do you lose too much time in the dry until it rains? Ooh, you know, I don't race this enough to know how long these tyres would last in the dry versus how long they last in the wet. Again, it depends on the lobby settings, what they've got the level set at. It could be tyre wear ×1, it could be ×5. And I know I said I wasn't going to vape in the mic, but because I brought the mic right close to my face, you're just going to have to deal with it. All right? That's just the way it is from now. Yeah, I don't think we should do another qualifying. Vectra. I think it should just be a reverse grid, because the majority of the drivers are still in here, whether they change car or whatever. It's just the 3 or 4, new drivers, 2 or 3 new drivers that turn up. That, I'm sorry, you're new drivers to the lobby. You start at the back. Everybody else goes reverse grid from race 1 positions or previous race positions, and then you just save that 15 minutes qualifying. Get an extra race in maybe. Because at the minute, it's looking like 2 races a night. Now, you know, I don't mind. It's still 2 hours of streaming for me, which great, fine. I don't mind 2 hours. That's pretty much as long as I want to do, really. But if we can squeeze another lap in, another race in, get rid of that qualifying, stick another race in. You know, I can run till just gone 10. That's fine. And you know, I know Duco's just come in the. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get a 3rd race in. Duco just coming in the chat saying good idea, and as good as it is to watch the racing with the rain, maybe that just slows the race down a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because you obviously can't put the faster lap times in, so everybody opened in gaps and gaps and gaps. I'm not saying get rid of weather. I'm saying maybe just notch it down a bit, so we're not waiting for, you know, poor Ombra, who's a minute and a half, 3 minutes behind or whatever he was, didn't even get to finish his lap. You know, again, not saying get rid of the weather, because I think it really changes things up, really makes people think, and it's but it does need to be on completely random. I don't think it should be timed in any kind of, I don't think you should put it in like sector 2, sector 3. I think they're you know, at PlayStation, at Polyphony, right, listen up, just put it on random. Don't give us sectors where we can plug it in ourselves. More rain, Duco says. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, click on the box. What? Click on the box on the left. What's the cock? Oh yeah. I know the details and stuff. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Look. So you can custom weather. Look. Weather at the start, random, and then you know it's going to be raining in, you know, R08, R07. I don't know. I think you should just be able to say it's cloudy, it's rainy, it's spotty, or it's sunny, or whatever. So yeah, another qualifying then. Nobody actually out yet. Have to wait for that bing bong ding thing bleep. That, what is that? Is that a beep? Is it a bell? What is it? Answers on postcard. You lot don't even know what postcards are anymore, do you? You know, you can stick things in the mail, like post them through your letterbox. They come with pretty pictures on. Answers on a postcard. Vectra not leaving the pits. Donkey Shot not leaving the pits. Oh, just as I say that, he peels out. Vectra staying right where it is though. Batchy. 3 seconds penalty again. Left the pits a little bit early, so there is a white line just on the exit of the pits to try and separate the cars coming out of the pits from the drivers racing. And if you cross that as you're coming out of the pits too early, even if you dip a rear wheel over it, you pick up this 3-second penalty. You know, it's a little bit harsh, but it does try and train the drivers to look at that line and, right, now I can turn. So, Bondo, not wets on from word go. Everybody on the softs then in qualifying, as to be expected. Data Pump, one of the new drivers to the lobby, we'll see how he gets on. Garnier as well. And then who was the other driver? Yazza? Yeah, I was going to call you Yasmin, but I know it wasn't Yasmin. Audi R8 actually also crossed the pit line, a little bit jinky in terms of connection by the looks of it. We'll see how it gets on. It just looks a bit jumpy. Vector as well crossed that pit line, he's also holding 3-second penalty. Look, got a 3-second penalty gang at the back here. qualifying, boys, and it is only an outlap, so you know. Speedy double XL in the full Tiger livery. You better be careful, I might not see him coming, he's that camouflage. Where's he gone? Oh, there he is, I see the Tiger, the words. The rest of it, can't see him. Camouflage. Your Vator as well, back on track now as with the Mercedes. See if it pulls a blinder with those soft tyres at the end again. The only problem with the Nurburgring is, you know, this is an outlap and it's going to be sort of 6.5, 7 minutes. Nothing you can do about it either, I don't think. I don't think you can change the start sort of position of the cars. I know there is a sort of secondary exit or entrance you can use where if you're on a, you know, if you're on the Nurburgring track days, it's right down that Dottinger straight. Data put again, keep an eye on the new drivers' times. Again, only outlaps at the minute. What's the livery on this thing? What's the livery? It looks like a JPS. It is John Player Special, black and gold. Come on then, people in the chat. Anyone know what John Player Special make? Come on. If you're old enough, you'll know. If you're a bit of a wrong-un, you know. Oh, Umbra has opted for the Ferrari again, knowing the rain's coming. Rain in qualifying as well. The sound good though, that Ferrari. I do love the sound of it. I raced it in the GR4s. Yeah, it was a good car to race in the GR4s as well. Killer, rolling in the green and black Warp Systems BMW. If you want underfloor heating solutions, this is your man to contact. Ooh, Garnier. Get that Toyota GT50, GT86 a little bit sideways. Livery smashed all over the side of it as well. Oh, it's a Zippo. It's a Coke one side, Pepsi the other. It's a shame that one's the Max, and it's a shame that that one's the Coke Zero. Because both of those are grim. Full fat, not too bad. Full fat, I better keep my mouth shut. If you know, you know. Laris, here's a standard livery BMW. I think it's a standard livery BMW on that one. Ring calf with, he has got the Roadrunner as his livery is Roadrunner. And so he should. Beep beep. Someone was in the chat last night saying that. Yeah, a lot of BMWs in this one. So in that Audi R8, again, it'd be interesting to see how that gets on. I don't think I've seen an R8 in this lobby yet. I'm looking, but I can't see a car. Let's just see some tail lights. Now some headlights. What's going on? It's a ghost car. Not sure. Well, that is just it's like Doritos. Okay, already on to the second lap then. Machi still leading us, not binned it. Mondo. Touching wood here, Mondo has not crashed in that one. Right there, look. maybe just doesn't like it when the rain comes down. It seems to be a little bit backwards. It's got a bit damp. So only about 5 minutes to wait then until we see actual lap times for qualifying. Weather is later according to Duco by 5 minutes. Ooh, that could be right at the end of lap 2 then, couldn't it? Could be right at the end of lap 2. Yeah, nobody battling, obviously, during qualifying. Just making sure everybody's still on the right bit of circuit. So, pretty much everybody onto their second lap. These two just getting around that final corner. Right, here we go then. Fast laps for everybody now. Beastie Bub, who was behind Bachi, is now not behind Bachi. Sorry, Bondo, sorry, was behind Beastie, is no longer behind him, there he is. Almost at the halfway point of their fast laps. Everybody's still on track. Whether the rain comes in qualifying, I don't know. Did do in the first qualifying session. Just hear that Ferrari anywhere on circuit really. It screams so much louder than everything else. There you go. You can hear it on Singularis. What can Ace Killer do this time? So he took the win in race 1. He was almost handed it. Bachi's tyres were absolutely blown out. Just couldn't survive the pressure he was trying to put on them. Ended up backwards. Ace Killer taking the win. He was closing him up. And I think he would have genuinely taken the win anyway by how quickly he was catching him. But Bachi decided to, like I say, chuck it in the wall around one of these turns and give Ace Killer the lead of the race. Invisible car. A little bit of damage on board for Yassa, unfortunately. Travel with that for the rest of this qualifying session. Looks like we might just get away without the rain here. Out of there, Bachi. Who's in front of Old Fiction here? Who's that down there? Can we see on board with Old Fiction now? Can we see him? Who is it? He's the first man out on track. Who's going to be? Okay, Bondo. Old Fiction behind him, so let's see, we'll stick with Bondo, we'll see what time he puts in when he crosses the line. And it almost started to rain at this point in qualifying earlier on. Still a little bit of blue sky up there, doesn't look like it's going to rain for the qualifying session at least. Long straight, there's the extra pit lane. Why can't we start the hot laps from there? So you're already up to speed, just a single lap, that's what you want. Okay, last couple of corners for Bondo, then we'll start to see these times come in. Go for race 2 then. So Bondo will obviously put himself in pole provisionally until anybody else beats him. And they do. Old Fiction comes through to take current or pole. Whether he stays there is yet to be seen. Bondo in second, then Beastie Bub in third, Bachi in fourth. Data Pump goes through, he takes fifth. Garnier up towards the line. Oh, we've got drivers passing, crossing the line in front of him, so let's just wait a second. We will wait a second because drivers are coming up thick and fast. Big gaps at the back of this qualifying session though, so we get a little bit of a look. Ace Killer comes through, goes quickest as he just rolls off into the distance, holding on to that first place moniker. So, Ace Killer currently taking the lead. Old Fiction second, Bondo in third, Beastie Bub taking fourth, Donkey Shot fifth, Roadrunner sixth, Bachi in seventh, Singularis coming home in eighth, Data Punk ninth, Ombra across the line for the 10th, Garnier 11th, Speedy XL up this back straight. Just waiting for him. Your Vator, Yasser and Vectra to cross the line. Oh, Yasser, your connection is very janky, my friend. I think it's going to be the next man is Your Vator, it is. Does that mean your father, your dad, something, your Vator, your father, Vader, Vader, as in, you know, just put 2 and 2 together here. There you go then. Oh, third place, your Vator. Sticks a great qualifying lap in there. So who are we waiting for now? We are waiting for Speedy XL. Bob, he moves up to 12th, pushes Garnier down to 13th. Yassin on this back straight then. Vectra still behind him as well. Oh, no, where's Vectra? Oh, here's Vectra. So he goes 12th. We'll just see where Yasser goes. He's a long way down from everybody else now though. He was tumbling around with Vectra earlier, so it looks like he's lost a bit of time. Already at the 7-minute mark. Final corner to go for him then. A little bit wide. Let's have a look up towards the line then. Can he get any better than 15th? He can't, unfortunately. 26 seconds down from Garnier. Struggle then in the Audi R8, unfortunately, for Yasser. There are official results then. Ace Killer on the front row, followed by Old Fiction, Your Vator, Bondo, Beastie Bub, Donkey Shot, Roadrunner, Bachi, Singularis, Datapunk, Ombra, Vectra, Speedy, XXL, Garnier 33 and Yazza in 15th. Yeah, I think he just struggled with that Audi a little bit. Let's see how they get on. Rain moved a little by 5 minutes. That's kind of half a lapish or 3/4 of a lap. We'll see how they get on. Can Duco pull another decent race out of the bag. Handle that car in the worst of conditions. I think it's pretty much all about strategy over this one. As he just comes in the pits, he didn't expect pole. Well, there you go. There you go. Are we not seeing a DIA 3SP Mart tonight? Are we not seeing a Potomac Pot? We had a Joe Spencer in the lobby early, but he came and went. I think he realised he's still got 3 laps of racing to go before he was going to get his chance to turn a wheel, so dipped out. Well, Dukes, well, similar to last time. You know, or is it worth going mediums at the start? Because are you going to get 2 laps in before the rain drops? Mediums will last 2 laps, then inters for 2 laps, and then a set of softs at the end. Brave it out on softs, or stick with the inters. Again, depends when the rain comes, and it depends how hard it comes. If you think the weather's going to be 5 minutes later, well, that's, you know, like I say, that's 3/4 of the track. You can cover in that amount of time. So, how close to the pits are you going to be? Is it worth braving it out? Because Bacci was, I don't know, over 3/4 of the way around lap 2 before the rain came down. I don't know, it's a tricky one, tricky one. Guffer, no way, not having it. Is her name Jake? Into mediums, there's the one. Into mediums, just one set throughout the whole race. The ultimate in tyre. So we've got a minute until the second race starts. So it looks like we're only going to see 2 races tonight. Again, that qualifying just 15 minutes. I know it's not 15 minutes because they're sticking in 6.5 minute laps, but it may as well be 15 minutes. By the time everybody's left the pits and everybody's crossed the line, it's certainly 15 minutes. It's 2/5 of a race, that is. Vectra, you listening? It's 2/3 of a race, 2/5 of a race even. You wouldn't have all this nonsense in between. You'd just be like, boom, right, reverse grid, you lot get to the back, let's have it. 2-minute break in between races, maybe 3 minutes. So here we go then. Another race here at Nordschliefe. Ace Killer on that front row after sticking in a decent qualifying time. Old Fiction in second. We wait for these lights to drop then. Good start by everybody. You can see the gap already to those drivers around that last corner. Yeah, it's not overly fair. It happens on the GP circuit as well. Ace Killer then leading them out. No mistakes at the minute. Old Fiction staying exactly where he needs to be in second. Beta is in third. Bondo in fourth. Beastie Book in fifth. Donkey Shot in sixth. There is Bacci in seventh. Roadrunner behind him in eighth. Singularis in 10th. No, sorry, 9th. I don't know why I missed 9th out there for a minute, but he is 9th. Beta Punk in that John Player Special Porsche in 10th. Logitech Ferrari of Ombra in 11th. Speedy XL, can't see him, in 12th. Vectra in 13th. Garnier in 14th. Yassin in the R8 in 15th. Gap's opened up at the back already then. It's Killer holding the lead down Foxholes, being chased by Old Fiction and Your Beta. A little bit of a gap back to 4th place Bondo. It's Killer trying to open that gap between himself and Old Fiction. Old Fiction goes deep through there. Has opened the door between Ace Killer and Old Fiction. Puts Old Fiction right into the firing line of Your Beta here as well. Let's get a little bit of bumper cam going. Again, tricky circuit to overtake here in Nordschleife. Seen how twisty and turny it is. Close up again on Old Fiction. Killer in front then, out of slipstream range of these two. A couple of opportunities coming up here then, not so much down this section. Closing that gap up just yet for Your Beta. So not yet, not out of this turn. If he can get close coming out of here, he might have a chance of running along this little straight. But I say straight, it has got some turns in it, but you can carry a fair amount of speed down here. Can go for an overtake if you're close enough. That gap's opened up a little bit between Old Fiction and Your Beta. Look at the gap back to 4th. Bondo 2.3 seconds back. So foot to the board down here, 154, 155 miles an hour, chasing down Old Fiction. If he'd been closer, he might have been able to go for a move into one of those previous corners, but not quite close enough at the minute. Oh, a little dip of the wheel on the grass, not slowed either of them down. Your Beta really pushing those, cost him a tiny bit of time through there. He's just control it, gather it back up. Oh, that's not controlling it and gathering it back up. That's stomping the throttle far too early. That's what that is. Looks like Ace Killer's made a slight mistake here as well. That time fallen between him and Old Fiction was 1.3 seconds. It's down to 0.9 of a second, so they are back in tow range. In second then, Your Beta third, big gap back to Bondo in 4th, Bachi in 5th, he's made up a couple of positions, Roadrunner in 6th, Donkey Shot in 7th, Singularis in 8th, oh, Singularis, where's he gone? Oh, he's got to get himself back on track, but he's got to be careful, other drivers coming through. Almost. Did he take out Beastie Bug there? Did he give Beastie Bug some damage? Yeah, Beastie Bug picked up a bit of front end damage with that collision, unfortunately. You know, nothing he could do. It was a pure racing incident. Completely wrong. Getting tangled up in it. Data pump coming under pressure here then. Porsche versus Porsche. Ombra just getting his way past in that Ferrari. With Beastie then, chasing down that Porsche. He's in a Porsche himself. A bit deep through there maybe. Gap opening up a little bit between these three. Data pump just pulling that gap open between himself and Beastie here a little. Vectra on the tail of Speedy XL down this little section. Not able to close. Oh, but Speedy XXL goes wide through there. Carried far too much speed through. It's not the direction you want to be going around the mini carousel either, Speedy. So falls further into the clutches of Singularis. Vectra just getting through then. Garnier a long way down, 7.5 seconds down in that Toyota. And Yassa really struggling in that Audi R8, 23 seconds down, still only lap 1. Again, it does take an awful lot to learn this circuit off by heart at full race pace. Because you get the first few corners right and then you don't know what's coming and then you crash. Yeah, it takes an awful long time to get this circuit down. He's killer, 2 seconds ahead of Old Fiction. Not able to stay in the slipstream then. Bondo into 3rd position, Jorvator 4th. Roadrunner 5th, Bachi behind him in 6th. So, pretty quick in the Mercedes. Again, not sure if I've covered Roadrunner or not in this lobby before, but he's looking pretty quick. Whether Bachi's got the speed to get past him. Close that gap up through here. Both drivers carrying a good amount of speed through there though. Down to 10th, so we're getting a slipstream down here. Down towards the hairpin. Not closing up enough though on that Porsche in front. To the hairpin. Down through foxholes again, nowhere to go through here for the overtake. Anybody else having a bit of a punch up? Ombra chased a little bit by Data Punk. Beastie Bub still not managed to get past him just yet. Vectra we've just seen get past Singularis after he spun out. He's back on track, still holding that damage. Speedy XL razzing through there, 7 seconds behind Singularis in 13th. He's also holding a little bit of front end damage. Garnier damage free, just struggling a little bit in that Toyota, I think. Yeah, Yassa. I was going to say he's been in the pits, stuck a set of hard tyres on, come out of the pits and then instantly binned it. So he's now left the lobby. Killer them. Looking good at the minute. 2.7 seconds ahead of Old Fiction. There he is, just coming through that turn. There's a little bit of a gap back to Bondo in 3rd as well. So let's just have a look internal view. So into lap 2, starting to darken up a little bit. Are we going to start seeing the weather coming in? Start to see the splashes on the windscreen. The wipers come on automatically. Ace Killer will be wanting to get out of these turns as quick as he possibly can. A little bit of mist showing now as well. I think they are going to start seeing that rain come down. Maybe before the end of lap 2. Again, this track's so big it can be raining on one side of the circuit and completely miss you on the other. Full tilt through there, still pulling time on Old Fiction, 4.1 seconds ahead of him. Putting those medium tyres through their paces, then making sure he gets the most out of them, getting to the pits as quickly as he can. Hoping he gets there before that rain kicks in. A little bit deep, hard on the brakes, almost stamps the foot brake and the handbrake at the same time. Still pulling time on Old Fiction behind though, loses a little bit through that mistake. Just coming through the carousel then. Just to see Ace Killer's rear end 4 seconds in front. Still no water showing at the minute. So Bondo's only 2.5 seconds behind. I thought he was a little bit further back, but there he is. Any kind of mistake from Old Fiction could bring him into the picture. Dark clouds looking ominous. Still not really closing that gap down on Ace Killer. We're going to see hits before the rain comes down here. Elevator in 4th, then Roadrunner 5th, Bachi in 6th, Donkey Shot 7th, Data Punk in 8th, Beastie Bug. Ombra's made a mistake though, he's gone for the soft tyre again, lap 1. Absolutely blown those out ridiculously early this time. Oh sorry, he's gone for 2 laps on those, apologies, we're on lap 2 aren't we? Yeah, he's absolutely blown. That was a poor move by you, Ombra. You're never going to get those tyres to do 2 laps, my friend. Oof, and there's the result. There's the result. Keeps it out of the wall, but loses an awful lot of time. He's going to have Vectra and Singularis closing up on him. Their tyres still looking good. Hard on for Vectra. Singularis with damage and medium tyres, but still looking good. Same for Speedy. Same for Garnier. So just got to be a little bit careful here then. Ace Killer. 5.4 seconds ahead of Old Fiction. Still no rain. Yep, Ombra's got to kick his PlayStation out the window because of that Ferrari. So what are we going to see Ace Killer do? Not raining yet. Opted to come into pits though. He's not going to do another lap on that fuel. He's opted to change tyres. Old Fiction in, Bondo in. Beta in, Roadrunner follows him in, Bachi stays out on the hards. Roadrunner comes in, Donkey Shot comes in, Data Punk comes in, Beastie Bug comes in, Vectra still a long way away from those pits. Now, Bachi got enough fuel. I think he should just about have enough fuel to get round another lap. He's got to pray he's got this right, and he better hope to God that the rain doesn't come down now. Hard tyres, if the rain comes down now on hard tyres, he'll use all his fuel just trying to get that thing pointed straight. But he's looking good at the minute. Ace Killer has put a set of wets on in anticipation of the rain coming down. Just got to be careful he doesn't burn them out in this dry circuit too early. Vectra's still on the racing hards, not stopped them. Racing mediums on for Old Fiction. Mediums on for Bondo. Mediums on for your Veta. Wets on for Roadrunner, so he's expecting the rain as well. Racing softs on for Beastie. Data Punk in 9th has opted for racing mediums. Intermediates for Donkey Shot. Singularis has gone racing soft. Speedy XL in the pits. What's he got on board? Racing mediums as he exits. Still no rain then. Those hard tyres not looking too bad at the minute for Bachi. 20 seconds gap over Ace Killer. Starting to see the headlights of Old Fiction behind, so wet tyres on board for Ace Killer. You can already see we're a third of the way round this circuit. We can already see wear on those wets. He will want the rain to come down, as weird as that sounds. It's still not happening. Still dry here then at Nordschleife. Killer's wets looking a little bit worn already. Again, once the rain comes down, they'll literally stop wearing out at all. But he needs that rain to come down. He needs that wet circuit to keep them cool. Old Fiction on the racing mediums closing up on Ace Killer. They get down to 1 second. But again, it could all change if it starts getting wet. Still not seeing moisture on the windscreens yet. Look at the speed he's able to carry. Ace Killer praying for rain now, praying. A little bit more misty here, it could be turning. Batchy miles up the road on those hard tyres, 26 seconds. So we're on board with him then. Still no rain on his screen. Duco, Ace Killer, might have come in a lap too early. He had to come in anyway, but he might have got away with a set of softs for this next stint. Still dry then. Slams on the brakes as we turn right, heading up towards the carousel. Can you just see that mist? Is that rain now? Is that rain now? Am I seeing tiny specks? No, still dry. So Mondo has made his way past Ace Killer as well. Your Vader just gets his way past. Oh, and straight into the wall for him. Not sure what happened there, but into the wall he goes. Beastie Book goes past him. Your Vader back on track in 6th. Vectra on the hards in 7th. Data Pump on the mediums in 8th. Roadrunner went for the wets as well in 9th. Donkey Shot in 10th on the inters. Singularis in 10th on the softs, and Speedy XL on the racing mediums. And we still aren't seeing anything wet on Batchy's screen up front. Still no sign of that rain. Not over yet. They could come around the next turn. It could be absolutely the next corner. It could be absolutely tipping it down. All the drivers on those hard tyres, mediums and softs, could end up going backwards and sideways and all sorts of things. But they're getting ever closer to the pits, which means they're not going to lose quite as much time if they are spinning around, because they can get to the pits a little bit quicker. It's still dry here. The mini carousel, still no rain. Ace Killer loses another position, then falls down to 5th. Got a few of the drivers closing up on him. Yeah, he's just struggling. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? He loses another position. Yeah, the fronts are already blown out. Look, can't even do a full lap in the dry. So, unfortunately, not getting the timing quite right, so that extra 5 minutes looks like it turned into an extra 10 or 15 minutes ish. And now the rain comes, just when Ace Killer doesn't want it. Just when Ace Killer doesn't want it. His tyres are already dead. So what is going to happen here with everybody else? Batchy is already at this last couple of corners before the pits. He comes in, so he's going to stick the wets on now. Old Fiction on the mediums. Yeah, lap too early for Ace Killer and one of the other drivers that stuck the wet tyres on and inters. Oh no, Old Fiction gets it backwards coming into the pits. Mondo goes through in front of him then. Beastie Bug just coming to those last couple of corners. Data Pump as well, past Ace Killer. Struggling to get these things stopped. Look, now their rains come down on the mediums. Again, Ace Killer must be absolutely spitting bricks. He now can't get his car stopped either, wets or not, because they're absolutely blown out. So now what? Now what do we do? We've got to go wets or inters again. And unfortunately, Ace Killer has already used the sets and wasted an awful lot of time. Donkey's shot goes through, so he's still got a bit of life left in those inters. Whether it's enough to get him to the end of the race, we'll have to wait and see. I think he's got just about enough fuel on. He should be able to make it. Those tyres are already looking pretty beaten up. Let's just jump to the front. What options have we gone for? Full wets on for Bachi, so he's going to stop a good couple of laps here. Bondo gone for the wets. Old Fiction gone for the full wets. Intermediates, worn intermediates for Donkey. Beastie Book out on the full wets. Data Punk full wets. Your Veta has gone full wets. Ace Killer back out the pits in full wets. But he will not be happy. Singularis, intermediates. Rover has gone full wets. Racing mediums for Speedy XL, but he is just coming up to that pit entrance. Just gets himself in, but a long way down, unfortunately. So, full wets are going to work like a dream here then for these last two laps. He's found himself with a 3-second penalty, but that won't affect him one little bit. He's got Old Fiction behind him by 5.4 seconds. As long as he doesn't bin it himself, he should hold on to that position. Beastie Book in 4th, Donkey Shot 5th, Data Punk in 6th, Your Beta 7th. There is Ace Killer on his second set of wets here. The timing's not quite right in the well, however he was told the rain would be 5 minutes later. I think it was a good sort of lap and a half later than it should have been, rather than the end of lap 1, sorry, the end of lap 2, which it was in the first race. It was closer towards the end of lap 3, and Ace Killer decided to stick the tyres on at the end of lap 2. The tyres were blown out by the end of lap 3, just as the rain came down, and he's had to stick another set on. And unfortunately, it goes from top of the board down to 8th. Vectra full wets, inters on for Singularis, full wets for Roadrunner, and Speedy back out on a full set of wets. It should all be good for Beastie as long as he can keep it pointed on the grey bit. Plenty of time, 31 seconds. Pretty much 1.5 laps to go. He's got plenty of fuel on board. Those tyres aren't going to wear out between now and the end of the race unless it literally dries out instantly. Oh no, Old Fiction gets it wrong around that corner. Sticks it in the wall. Bondo not able to get past him though. I think he was a little bit slow coming out of that corner himself, but he has got that 3-second penalty to worry about. Far enough ahead of Beastie Book now though. 14 seconds ahead of him. Yeah, I just think everybody, even with the medium, even with the inters and the wet tyres, still not foolproof. They can let go of you at any point. Donkey Shot is on a warm set of inters as well. You can see how quickly a fresh set of wets makes his way past them. Oof. Massive glitch there from Donkey. That was the missing starting a new Netflix series. That's what that was. Data Punk gets through to 5th then. Donkey Shot in 6th, Your Beta in 7th. Those fresh looking wets, looking good. Ace Killer closing gaps up in 8th, so he's got a few drivers ahead he can have a go at. 2 laps left to do that as well. Oh, it's all kicked off in front. Beta, Donkey Shot having a little bit of a coming together on the run up towards the carousel. Ace Killer with nowhere to go through here. He's just had to tuck himself onto the rear end of this fight. Gets past Donkey Shot, then his warm inters doing him no favours at all. Now on the hunt for 6th place, Your Beta. Gap down to 3/4 of a second, visibly larger on screen than Your Beta. Ace Killer all over the back of him. Again, got to find the right opportunity to go for the overtake. Yellow flag's being flown, somebody's off circuit a little bit maybe. All drivers pushing then, nobody wants to be overtaken, nobody wants to spin out either. It's Killer all over Your Beta, he goes backwards. Oh no, he doesn't quite, he holds on to it. Wow, he was absolutely sideways coming through there. Ace Killer almost bins it as well. Your Beta tucks himself back into the slipstream of Ace Killer then, looking to come back at him. Now Ace Killer, another driver, target in front, Data Punk, 1.5 seconds. Starting to regain some positions back then. Ace Killer, oh, he gets a snap on through there, gathers it back up, quickly gathers that, and actually makes 0.2 of a second of one Data Punk in front. Sensibly closing up. Got to find the right place to go past Data Punk. Oh. Pushing it, nowhere to go here. Oh, it stopped raining at this part of the circuit. So now what do we do? Now what do we do, people? Ace Killer on another set of wets. Does he? I mean, again, the circuit's still going to be wet. So the tyres will still work until we see that dry line. Looks like we've already got a little bit of a dry line showing here. BMW versus Porsche then heading up the straight. Data Punk. Looks like they're doing a little bit of bump drafting. Yeah, there is. Dry line appearing, look, on that right hand side of the circuit. These drivers all sticking into the wet part to try and keep their tyres cool. Now are we going to see Ace Killer go for a move? He goes for it this time, gives Data Punk a little bit of a helping hand down this straight, but then says enough's enough, I'm having that position. Goes through then into 5th. Bondo just in front, Old Fiction not too far in front either. Long way behind race leader, unfortunately. Starting to come back into it, Ace Killer, 5th position. Now got Bondo and Old Fiction within his sights. Beastie Boy, can we see him just going around that corner? So we'll see what happens. Oh, not too far camera wise. So let's get ourselves to the front. Batchy is still looking good. Intermediate tyres, not showing a blip of wear on. Has he just managed to get in the pits as well? 6:55, yeah. So fresh set of inters on for Batchy. That's going to absolutely set him up to the end of the race. He's got absolutely nothing to worry about now. Beastie Bub in 2nd. His wets still looking awesome. Plenty of fuel on for him as well. Old Fiction. Oh, he's got damage front and rear. So he's going to be travelling a little bit slower. Bondo and Ace Killer are going to close up on him for sure. I'm just going to make the overtake clean again. Circuit starting to dry out. Everybody on the inters and the wets are going to start to suffer. Whether we've had anyone drop in the pits for mediums or softs for this final stint is yet to be seen. Ace Killer making his way past Bondo though. Data Punk 6, Vectra in 7th. Your Beta in 8th. So again, he's gone for that soft tyre in this final stint. See what that can do for him. 4 seconds behind Vectra at the minute. Donkey Shot 16 seconds behind him in 9th. Racing mediums on board for him, and another set of softs on for Singularis. Again, good choice if you can keep it on the drive-in, and there are little pockets of wet that might just catch you out. Roadrunner in 11th has also gone for the soft tyre. Speedy XL comes in. He's on the wets currently. Don't know what tyres he is going to put on. It should just be tyres. Whether he gets that damage repaired. He does. So comes out on a set of racing softs then for him. Okay, Beastie Bug. Taking a little bit of time. He is. Beastie Bug taking a little bit of time out of Batchy here. Those inters not quite hooking up as firmly as the full wet still on this side of the circuit. Fiction then under pressure. Ace Killer gets his way past Bondo already onto the rear end of Old Fiction here. Oof, snapped on him. Old Fiction has got front and rear damage, so he's not going to be carrying as much speed, but he's off circuit front as well. There is a Beastie Bug. Ace Killer, if he can keep his tyres from blowing up. Carrying enough speed, he might be able to get his way past Old Fiction. Can he get enough speed to take that towards Beastie Bug and reclaim second? Again, trying to get the power down a little bit too early. Long section here though, should be able to close up on Old Fiction. Plenty of circuit to go past him as well on certain parts. Not the way you want to go, but not through there. But again, Old Fiction, no, he's going to be running slower. Allows Ace Killer to go through. Into third then for Ace Killer. Beastie Bug now just 2.5 seconds ahead of him. His tyres looking good though. Although we've got a dry circuit, he's got a fresh set of wets on. Versus Ace Killer's half-worn wets. Look at this, Batchy on those intermediates in front. He's been into the wall as well, so even though his intermediates are looking absolutely fantastic, nowhere on those at all, they are really not working here at this dry circuit now. Gap down to 5.6 seconds with that damage. Now there's Beastie Bug in second. Fiction just 2.5. Oh, sideways backwards. There you go. Old Fiction and Ace Killer. Beastie Bug trying to get that thing pointed in the right direction. He's got cars coming past him again. Data Pump goes through. And another driver behind him, has he? Yes, he has. Allows Bondo to go through as well. What a shame for Beastie. From second and down to sixth then. So this is where the fight's at really. Old Fiction versus Ace Killer. They both had to slow down a little bit with the departure of Beastie Bug. They can't now use him either to chase down Batchy in front. Still 10 seconds between these two and him. This is again final lap. Killer needs to keep himself bolted onto the back end of Old Fiction. Tyres absolutely blown out now though for Ace Killer. Still keeping himself in touch with Old Fiction though. Data Pump into fourth, but back under pressure from Bondo. Beastie Bug wants that position back as well, not happy with throwing himself off track. Oh. Well, there he is. Data. What happened to Data? Looked like there was a tiny bit of contact between. Oh, it might have just been his tyres. Might have been a tiny bit of contact between Bondo and Data, and Data got reamed into the wall there. Okay. Batchy still 14 seconds up the road. Old Fiction has found the time. Ace Killer. His tyres are absolutely blown out. So he loses that time to Old Fiction in front. Beastie Bug is back to fourth. It's all kicked off behind. Bondo's back into fifth. Data Punk in sixth. Again, tyres absolutely blown out. Donkey Shot seventh, having a race of his own at the minute. Vectra in 8th. Again, the rain's come in and opened up those gaps massively. Your Vectra in 9th, Singularis in 10th, Speedy XL in 11th. And again, we've lost more drivers from this one down to 11. I wonder if drivers weren't expecting the rain. That might have been the problem. Bachi then crosses the line, takes the win. Old Fiction easily in front of Ace Killer by the end. Ace Killer's tyres catching him out all over the place. So into 3rd he goes, if the camera ever keeps up. What is that camera angle all about? So Beastie takes 4th, Bondo takes 5th. Data Punk comes home in 6th, Donkey Shot 7th, Vectra, oh no! Your Vectra comes through. Vectra, what did we miss? Are you out of fuel? Vectra's out of fuel. Your Vectra is going to take 8th then. Plenty of fuel tyres even with all that damage. Across the line for him to take that 8th. Vectra creeping around these last couple of turns. Absolutely out of fuel. Lots of damage. No tyres left. That's not the way you want to be finishing the race, that isn't. So 9th for him. Singularis just coming around that corner. Unfortunately, he's still got fuel. Wasn't able to close the gap up enough on Vectra to take the position, so comes home in 10th. Now we just wait for Speedy XL, who unfortunately is 3rd of a lap down. Yeah, toughy Dukes, toughy. That rain just not coming when you wanted it. One more lap, mate. One more lap would have been enough. Would have put them on a bang on the right time. Ah well, it is what it is. Speedy XL. Struggling to get this thing around the corners at the minute. He's on the racing softs in the wet. Yeah, probably, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, again, I just don't think that I don't think it should be sort of timed with the penalties. Yeah, I don't think the weather should be timed. I think it should be completely random. I think you should be able to opt for rain off the line, even. It says you love Nurburgring on the front of your car. I don't think you love it enough, Speedy XL. Either that or it doesn't love you. You don't love it tonight, or it doesn't love you. One of the two. Apache MD with the win tonight then. For race 2, Ace Killer taking the win in race 1. And unfortunately, being as it's 10:15, that is going to be it. Stream is going to be done. Again, Vectra. Get rid of that second qualifying. Chop it down. Less time in between qualifying and the race. What do you give? 5 minutes? 4 minutes? Chop that in half. 2 minutes. You know, every little helps. All that sort of stuff. But yeah, there we go. Another round of Ring CAF done and dusted. Again, it is just for fun. It is just fun races. There's no points. There's no championship. There's no teams. It's just here for fun. Have a blast and go for a rag, pretty much in the GT3s. Oh, I forgot to put Vectra's stuff in the description, and I forgot to even mention it. Vectra, one of the drivers, had his POV running. I'm sure you can still go back and check his channel and see that. So if you want to see his race from his perspective, and probably a lot of swearing in German, maybe go and check out Vectra's channel. But I will put that in the description afterwards. I've just got to remember where I've put the actual information. But yeah, that's it from the Ring CAF for tonight. No racing tomorrow. So the P1 boys usually have a Sunday league, but they're just in between leagues at the minute, so I get a week off. So we are back on Thursday next week at 9 o'clock for the second round of the Porsches. Friday night at 9 o'clock for round 2 of the GTTCC, the GR4. It's like the British Touring Car Championship, but Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship. So that's Friday night at 9 o'clock, back for 2 more races. And then same again, same time, same place next week, Saturday night at 8 o'clock for the next round of the Ring CAF. And then the new P1 League starts on Sunday next week. That is the Honda Civics. So we've got the Porsches running on Thursdays at 9 o'clock, the British Touring Cars or the GTTCC running at 9 o'clock on Fridays, Ring CAF on 8 o'clock on Saturdays, and then Sunday night 9 o'clock for the new, not tomorrow, next week, for the new Civics for the P1 boys as well. Let me just say yes to Mectra. He's asking me about next week. There we go. But yeah, that's what we've got coming up. Thursday night next week for Thursday night 9 o'clock for the Porsches, Friday night for the touring cars, Saturday night for the Ring CAF, and then Sunday night for the Civics. That is what we've got. Just had to turn down a league on Sundays because of the new P1, unfortunately. So yeah, that's it. I hope you've liked what you watched. If you have, tell me how the sound came through as well, please, if you're there. I know Duco said it was okay, but I just want more people, more advice, because I've got it closer. It should have sounded clearer. It does sound a bit tinny, this mic, so I'm on about lobbing it out the window and buying a new one, but we'll have to wait and see. If this sounds a bit better, I might stick with it, I don't know. But that's it from me tonight. I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things you usually do to everyone else's channel. But then on my channel, what you've also got to go and do is tell your mates and tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.